how much old poop is hiding in the average colon right now?
I would say decades. You can hold 32 pounds of poop in your colon. Colonics saved my life. You're supposed to be pooping 3 times a day after every meal. If not, you're chronically constipated.
What do you say to people who think colonics are totally unnecessary or just way too extreme?
What I think is really extreme is somebody not going to the bathroom every day.
This episode is all about poop. Your 7-year-old is gonna love this. Poop, farts, castor oil in the belly button, constipation, coffee enemas, and most importantly, colonics. What is a colonic and what benefits can they bring? I'm talking all about the gut-brain connection with certified colonic hydrotherapist Marina Ortega from Scottsdale Hydrotherapy, who's seen it all, literally. From toxic sludge to emotional release, we're talking about what your bowel movements say about your physical, mental, and even emotional health. Spoiler, your poop might be trying to tell you something important. You're going to learn what poop has to do with acne, depression, and even your libido. All the bold questions you're too embarrassed to Google and definitely too embarrassed to say out loud. A huge thank you to Wirify making this interview possible and hosting us while our home studio is out of commission because, well, there was a panda bear. He had like a crazy party. It was wild. His parents were out of town. He's grounded now. Watch this episode on the Real Alex Clark YouTube channel. Please welcome Marina Ortega, owner of Scottsdale Hydrotherapy, to Culture Apothecary. Is it true your poop can reveal how anxious or depressed you are?
Absolutely. If you're anxious, I find that your poop is usually watery or you have the runs because you're so nervous and you're so anxious. And if you're depressed, sometimes you could be suppressed and holding on to a lot of emotion. So I find that maybe you're not pooping and maybe you're dealing with constipation.
What are like the immediate improvements people notice after doing a colonic?
Brain fog goes away. They kind of had this energy, this natural energy kicking in. They've got this pep in their step. Their skin is much more clear. You just feel light and you feel amazing. You feel like a new woman. You feel energetic.
What exactly is happening during a colonic?
So a colonic is an internal colon cleanse for your colon is basically what it is. And we're taking highly filtered warm water and it's going into your large intestine. So your large intestine is about 5 to 6 feet long. And the only thing we're doing in colon hydrotherapy is we're taking a small rectal nozzle. It's like the size of a number 2 pencil. And the client will insert that into their rectum. And when we turn the water on, it's warm water filtering the colon. And it's going to soften and breaking up all of the hard and dehydrated poop typically. And then you'll eliminate all of that. So it's going to eliminate gas. It's going to eliminate toxins. It's going to eliminate all of that buildup.
How did you get into talking about poop for a living?
Because I had a health crisis when I was in my early 20s. I was super sick. I was a girl that literally would poop maybe every 7 to 12 days.
So that used to be me. And I thought that that was normal. I thought going once a week, once every week and a half was totally normal, that I just didn't poop. That because it was common in what I had known, I assumed normal for my body. And I had no idea that that meant constipation because I always thought constipation meant straining. And I would not poop for that long. And then when I would go, this is so TMI, but no one in my audience knew this much about me. But when I would go, it would always be loose. And I just thought, like, I don't poop. And then when I do, it's diarrhea. And I don't know, I guess that's me. Now I know a lot more about how bad my diet was and all that was contributing. But do you think that that's the case for a lot of people, that they're walking around chronically constipated and have no clue?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they think it's normal and it's not normal. You need to be pooping every single day. Think about it. We're eating 3 meals a day. You're supposed to be pooping 3 times a day after every meal. If not, you're chronically constipated. So it's not normal. And I think that so many people think it's normal and people are suffering. They're sick. They're inflamed and they're highly, highly toxic because they're not pooping every day.
What was going on with you that was causing you to not go for like a week and a half to 2 weeks?
I was working for corporate America. I was working 14 hours a day. I was chronically dehydrated. My hair started to fall out. I started to get all these symptoms like high anxiety, depression. I'm not even a depressed person, but just all of these things started happening. My skin was breaking out. I was getting acne. I was physically sick. I was toxic. Autointoxication starts kicking in where you have so many, I'm on toxic overload. right? And I think a lot of it had to do with stress. I mean, my body was just, I had a very, very stressful job. And so my journey began right then and there. I was like, okay, this can't be normal. I can't be the only one. Mind you, this was 30 years ago. So nobody was talking about poop. And I spent thousands of dollars. I went to doctors, CAT scan, MRI. I mean, you name it, I did it. I tried every herbal laxative. I tried laxatives in general, which didn't work for me. And it wasn't until I met with a naturopathic doctor and she says, Marina, have you ever tried a colonic? And I was scared. I was like 20 years old. I was like, a what? And I was so desperate. I said, I'm absolutely going to go try this. So I went in for my first colonic. I came out. I unloaded like 7 pounds of poop in that session.
What?
7 pounds. Yep.
How do they know that? They like a bucket
I weighed
was
myself.
catching?
I weighed myself before and after the session. I looked at her and I'm like, this is completely life-changing. Like, you've changed my life, because I had spent thousands of dollars. I remember a doctor looked at me and he says, this is all in your head and you need to relax. So they really started to make me feel like I was going crazy.
Yeah, the gaslighting.
Yeah.
Which is what's typically going on with women in the doctor's office, I
That's
think.
right.
And so you were like, I'm changing my entire career path. Like, I have to do this. I have to become this woman that helped me for other people.
Absolutely. I thought it can't just be me dealing with this. There's so many other women, even men out there, that are dealing with this. And no one wants to talk about poop, especially 30 years ago. So fast forward to 2014 is when we opened up our first wellness center. I actually dropped out of my doctorate degree. I'm like, I've got to give back. I've got to help people. Like, there was just such a passion, this burning passion.
And then there was a point in your life where you were exposed to toxic mold, right?
Yeah.
How did Colonics help with that?
I was exposed to black mold, and this was in August 2024. So this is last year. So I'm 11 months into the exposure of black mold. And at the time, I didn't know it was black mold. And I feel like mold is this like the silent epidemic that no one talks about. I had no idea it was mold. We were up at Flagstaff in our second home, and we were in elevation. It's about 7,000 feet up there. And I was having trouble breathing. And I looked at my husband, Steve, and I said, something's going on. He said, call the doctor. So I called our teledoc. He said, Marina, let's take this blood test. I said, okay. He's like, there's a really bad bacteria going around. It's called mycoplasma. I said, all right. He called me back. He says, you absolutely have it. You're elevated. You've got mycoplasma. I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's a really bad bacteria and it forms a gel around it and it's super hard to kill. I said, okay. He's like, it's walking pneumonia, basically. So I tried every inhaler, nebulizers, nothing was working. I came back down to the valley. I met with the doctor. He says, you prepaid for this mold test. Why don't you just take it? I'm like, okay. He's like, but first, I'm going to put you on antibiotics for this mycoplasma, this bad bacteria. I said, okay. You're going to be put on this for 22 days, this prescription. I said, okay. So I got on the prescription for the mycoplasma. He ran the mold test and said, you're living in black mold. I said, there's no way. We just renovated both of our homes, our office. I can't be living in black mold. He says, in my 25 years, I've never seen mold levels, black mold, this high. He says, it goes to your weakest link because right now your lungs are compromised from the mycoplasma. So now you've got the mold. So now they're having a party. And now it's going to become very parasitic because parasites like this as well. And I thought, okay. So we couldn't find the black mold. A lot of doctors don't want to treat you until you find the source.
Yeah, you couldn't find it?
They don't want to treat you because if it's in my house, I'm going to keep getting exposed. Most doctors here in the Valley were quoting me $70,000 cash to treat it. Another one was $50,000 cash. And another one was $30,000 cash to treat the black mold. And I thought, this is intense. So Steve looked at me, he says, we have a wellness center. We have everything that you need. I mean, you can do colon hydrotherapy, you can do the ozone therapy, you can do lymphatic drainage. Like, let's try this first before we go pay out-of-pocket cash. I thought, let's do it. So I have been detoxing ever since August with Colonics, Castor Oil packs, coffee enemas, and all of the things that we have at our wellness center. And we just tested about 7 months into it, and I'm 50%, my markers are down by 50%. And this is really unheard of with black mold because it typically will take people 2 to 3 years to get black mold out of your system. It's very, very hard to get rid of.
Holy crap.
I was bedridden for...
Literally.
Yeah. I was bedridden for 2 months because I couldn't breathe. It was quite the journey. But I will say, colonic saved my life.
I'm so new to the colonic world. I mean, I just had my first one with you yesterday before we filmed this. And so it was really important to me. I was like, first of all, I'm so interested in colonics, but I want to experience it before I interview the person because, I feel like people are going to be asking me questions. I want to try it. So I did. And so we'll get into all of that. And one thing that you were talking a lot about yesterday, which I also didn't even realize had to do with each other, was the lymphatic system. You were talking about how dangerous it is if your lymphatic system is stagnant.
Yes.
How do you know if your lymphatic system is stagnant, and what kinds of health risks does that pose?
Your lymphatic system is your drainage system, right? So it's like this freeway system. So the liver's dumping all the toxins, the pathogens, all the bad bacteria. And so when you think about your lymphatic system, it's like this freeway system, and you have hundreds and hundreds of lymph nodes all throughout your system. And then you have these little kind of pit stops where they're dumping and draining all these toxins. So it's constantly filtering out all of these bad things. 70% of your immune cells are located in your lymphatic system. So your lymphatic system is working all the time. But here's the kicker. The lymphatic system, unlike the cardiovascular system, has the heart. It has a pump. Now, your lymphatic system does not have a heart. So what's happening is it's relying on you to be moving, right? Like our diaphragm, as we breathe, that'll move our lymphatic system. So if you're not moving and exercising, your lymphatic system will get very stale and stagnant. And with that comes a lot of issues, high inflammation, disease, all kinds of bad things can start happening because things just start building up. It starts backing up in your system and you become highly toxic.
If somebody never sweats, what is their body telling them?
You're probably chronically dehydrated if you're not sweating.
Chronically dehydrated.
Yeah.
And that's what you think I am.
I do.
What ends up happening to somebody who doesn't pee, poop, or sweat enough?
You're going to become highly, highly toxic. Your body will become very acidic. And with that, I think all disease stems from the gut. I really do. So all these bad things start happening, or all these autoimmune start coming up and happening.
Geez, I wonder if my chronic constipation, chronic dehydration has to do with my autoimmune stuff as well, because I have Hashimoto's. So I've been like putting the puzzles together. I feel like almost a decade on birth control didn't help.
Sure.
Also getting the Gardasil shot. I've learned you have a high risk of developing autoimmune after that. Had no idea. And then learning all this from you. I mean, I feel like, as with a lot of illnesses, it's a lot of things adding up in your toxic bucket.
Yes.
And then it overflows.
Yeah. You have 4 liters of blood. You have double of that when it comes to your lymphatic fluid. So it's so important that you're peeing, pooping, sweating, and really detoxing the drain. You want to open up your detox pathways. And for you, I would say, try doing infrared saunas. Start with that.
Oh, I'm obsessed with infrared light and doing red light therapy. I am bad about being diligent about sauna. And I need to start doing that because I'm one of those people that never sweats. Barely a little bit, in this Arizona heat or working out, but I don't sweat very much. And I know that that's a problem. So I want to start doing that more. And I know that I'm not drinking enough water. I mean, how much water are we really supposed to be drinking?
They typically say take your body weight, cut it in half. That's bare bones, what you want to be drinking per day. And think about it. I mean, where are your toxins going? You've got to be peeing, pooping, sweating. So skin is one of the major organs, right? You're releasing all of those toxins out of you. So if you're not releasing that, then where is it going?
I did just order a sauna blanket.
Perfect.
So maybe I can start using that from Higher Dose. They're not a sponsor, but that's who I got it from. And I think they're supposed to be pretty good. How much old poop is hiding in the average colon right now?
I would say years. I would say decades. Because your colon is 5 to 6 feet long. You can hold 5 pounds per foot. You can hold 32 pounds of poop in your colon.
So a lot of people that are struggling with losing like 15 to 20 pounds, could it just be poop?
Sure. Absolutely. I lost 7 pounds in my first session. We had a girl 2 weeks ago. She didn't poop for 14 days. She walked out and said, oh my gosh, I lost 10 pounds of poop. I mean, she showed me her phone, the scale. I mean, it'll blow your mind.
Why would somebody not be pooping for 14 days?
She happened to be on vacation with her boyfriend and she was scared to poop in front of him. And she didn't want him to smell it.
Now, see, girls, this is, first of all, okay, this is what you do. It's called a hotel lobby. It's called going at the restaurant. There are ways around this. You say, hey, I'm going to go for a little morning walk. And then you go to the hotel lobby bathroom. Hello. Well, I'm glad that she found you. What are your thoughts on laxatives for constipation?
I have been doing this for over a decade. I've been doing colon hydrotherapy for over 30 years. And what I will say is this. We have seen hundreds and hundreds of people addicted to laxatives.
You can get addicted to those?
Absolutely. So much so that they stop working. And when they stop working, what happens? You never have the sensation. You don't have to go to the bathroom. It's that wave-like motion called peristalsis. Like, oh, I got to go poop. Like my poop window is at 7 a.m. But some people just lose it. They don't have that poop window anymore. So they take laxatives for years. It could be 5 years, 10 years. They'll come to us and they're like, I can't poop. I don't know what to do. And that's the thing with big pharma. I mean, it's like this thing where they know people are going to buy it over and over and refill that prescription over and over, right? Because they're desperate. They want to poop. And it's really causing a lot of damage.
Health insurance is a scam. It's like paying the mafia for protection and still getting your windows smashed in. You pay thousands a year just to have some 24-year-old in a call center deny your claim because your cough started 36 hours too early. And here's the thing, they want it that way. I had Andy, the CEO of Crowd Health, on the show, and he straight up told me insurance companies are financially incentivized to screw you over. It's like if a casino offered you health coverage. Sorry, your broken leg is out of network. Good luck limping through that bankruptcy. This is why I love Crowd Health. It's not insurance. It's a middle finger to insurance. You pay $99 a month. You get access to telemedicine, a network of cash pay doctors, which are the better ones, by the way, discounted prescriptions, and when you do need help, the Crowd steps in and actually covers your medical bills. Wild concept. People helping people instead of billion-dollar corporations bleeding you dry. Let Crowd Health help with your healthcare needs. Get started today for just $99 per month for your first 3 months by using code CULTURE at joincrowdhealth.com. Crowd Health is not insurance. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com, code CULTURE. Have you ever upgraded your coffee just by adding one ingredient? My buddy did that with cowboy colostrum in his latte and said it felt like a vanilla shake health hack. No chalky powder, no natural flavors, just smooth, delicious nutrition. Cowboy colostrum comes from first milking 4 to 6 hour colostrum from U.S. grass-fed cows, so you're getting peak concentrations of immunoglobulins, growth factors, lactoferrin, and probiotics. These bioactives support immune function, gut health, radiant skin, strong hair, and even athletic performance. Unlike many other powders out there that mix first, second, or even third milkings and sometimes strip all the fat, Cowboy harvests exclusively first milking and keeps it whole. That means natural fat, casein, and nutrients stay intact, giving you that fluffy yellowish powder, not the thin white electrolyte sludge that others deliver. They guarantee calf welfare first, so you only get your cowboy colostrum after the calves get their share. They'll collect the surplus only. Cowboy recommends 6 to 9 grams daily. That's 2 to 3 scoops if you're working out, traveling, or you need an extra immune boost. I'm doing only 1 scoop of Cowboy because I'm doing a bunch of other stuff like protein powders and collagen and also creatine. It froths effortlessly into water, coffee, or smoothies. Their vanilla flavor in particular makes my smoothie a creamy treat that I really look forward to every single day. Give yourself that nourishing edge, stronger gut, better immunity, healthier skin by choosing the real deal. Visit cowboycolostrum.com. Try it. Use code ALEX for 25% off your first order. That's cowboycolostrum.com, code ALEX for 25% off. You bring up something interesting, having a poop window, a time every day where you're going to the bathroom. If you're going daily, but it's not always at the same time, is that still not great? Like, is there a tier system of like, hey, I go every 2 days, now I go every day, now I go at the same time every day? Like, is that ideal?
I will say as long as you're pooping 3 times a day, I don't care what time you're pooping. I really don't.
You mean once a day?
Yeah, once a day, 3 times a day would be ideal.
Wait, 3 times a day is ideal.
You're chronically constipated if you're not pooping 3 times a day, typically after each meal. Think about it. So we're consuming 3 meals, right? Where are they going? They're going right into what? Our digestive system, into our gut, into our bowels, as it's just like hanging out there.
Well, where is it going? I mean, if you are eating 3 meals a day, but you don't poop 3 times a day, where is the poop going?
It's storing in your large intestine. And then it starts to get dehydrated and hard, like boulder, clay-like hard, all throughout your large intestine, which is about 5 to 6 feet long. And it's just getting more and more jammed up, I guess you could say.
During the first colonic session, if you're somebody that has this going on, all of it may not come out the first session. You have to like chip away at it. It's working at it.
Yeah. It's like when it comes to colonic, it's like, it's not one and done. I always say trust the process. We're taking highly filtered water. It couldn't be any more organic. And we're putting that water and irrigating the colon and hydrating the colon, right? And the objective really is to loosen up the stool. To the dehydrated hard stool that's in your large intestine, the water's just breaking it up, and then you'll evacuate, poop it out. And that's what's going to happen over and over throughout your colon hydrotherapy session. So each time we're going to get further and further.
What does poop have to do with brain fog?
I think it has a lot to do with brain fog. I mean, think about it. If you're the girl that poops maybe once a week, what's going to happen? You become highly toxic, right? So that's 3 times 6 days. Maybe I don't poop. How many meals is that? That's 18 meals just jammed up in my large intestine. What's going to happen is you just become highly toxic. So with that becomes what? Brain fog. You can't think clear. Like you need to evacuate these toxins. If not, it's like this toxic buildup and brain fog will definitely set in.
I think a lot of people are chronically constipated and have no idea. So let me tell you something I've never shared. I started doing something interesting. I started keeping a note in my phone and I write down every day that I poop. And I've been doing it since January 2024. So I've been doing it for a year and a half.
Oh.
And I've been just tracking when I go so I can see like there's something wrong here or I'm sick or I'm super constipated. I start noticing patterns and seeing how I'm doing. I feel like if everybody started doing that for a couple months, like you'd really start to get to know your body a lot better.
It's like a report card, right? So it's going to tell a story behind it. And I mean, I would say you're an A+ student for doing that. And now you can start getting down to the root cause. Right? So now you can go to your naturopath and start digging deeper and talking to her on why is this happening? Maybe take the GI mapping test. It's a blood test. It's fantastic. And it's so comprehensive.
Can getting a colonic make you cry?
Yeah, absolutely. We're holding so much emotion. So we not only have our brain, but we also have a brain in our gut. So you've got hundreds of millions of neurons in your gut. It's the enteric neurosystem, and it's got millions of neurons in your gut. And that is your second brain in your gut. And what it's doing, it's firing off and it's talking to your gut. And it's doing that through the vagus nerve. So think about it. It's like this little freeway system talking, and it's holding emotions and trauma. Yeah, so people can get very emotional when it comes to colon hydrotherapy because we're holding on to a lot of trauma or emotion in our colon and in our gut as well.
I don't think I've had anybody on the show talk about the vagus nerve. What does it do? How do you stimulate it, if that's the right word?
You're stimulating your vagus nerve for sure in a colon hydrotherapy session, because when you're having a colonic, it's almost like let that shit go. Like you're just letting everything go. You're in this somatic breath work. You're doing your deep breathing throughout your colonic session. You're just letting everything go. So the vagus nerve is starting to go into the rest and digest stage when you're in a colon hydrotherapy session. Everything starts to relax. You're letting go of stuff. You can become emotional as well because you're so relaxed, or you're letting go of trauma.
Is it true that people have not had a proper bowel movement in years? Like they think, oh, I poop all the time. Like, yeah, I go every day, and they're not even having proper bowel movements.
I think the question is, what does your poop look like? Like people will have, like, for example, people will talk to me and say, I poop every single day. And the question I have is, what does it look like? Is it a full bowel movement? Right. So again, it's going back to that report card. Like people need to be looking at their poop, right? Because it really tells a story about where they're at when it comes to pooping. So when someone's chronically constipated, my question to them is, how often are you pooping? Once I know how often you're pooping, we can take it from there. Are there people that poop maybe once a month or twice a month? Yeah, there is. And that's a really big problem. I mean, they're super sick. They are creating an acidic environment. It's very toxic. Disease sets in. There's no question.
How do you know if you're having a full bowel movement or just partial?
There's something called the Bristol stool chart, and we have it, and we'll have our clients take a look at it. And for example, if you see the little rabbit turds, like the little deer turds, that is a sign that you're chronically constipated. When you're pooping, you want it to be a full bowel movement. You want it to be smooth. It's kind of just like shaped as a banana.
So when we did my colonic, TMI, mine was all like little pellets or just, it was just like brown water, basically, is what the whole time it looked like. You said that's not a good sign. That means that I'm like hardened in there and there's a lot going on, a lot of constipation, right?
Yeah.
So when you're getting a colonic, should you be seeing huge pieces?
Everyone's body's different, so everyone's going to see different stuff. Like, for example, when I was detoxing from mold, like I was seeing like boulders coming out of me. I was seeing tapeworms coming out of me. I was seeing all kinds of stuff, but I was very sick, right? I had a parasitic infection. I had a lot going on. For you, you saw the little teeny little pebbles. That's a sign of dehydration. So the first thing I'm thinking of, Alex, is chronically dehydrated. Once you start hydrating, everything starts to loosen up within your system and in your bowels and in your bowel movement.
Can toxic poop in your colon contribute to infertility or hormonal problems?
I would say yes. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but we deal with a lot of women that are trying to conceive or dealing with infertility. We see it all the time. I mean, we just had a girl come in a couple months ago. She was trying to get pregnant for 6 years. And so her naturopathic doctor sent her to us. And a lot of it does stem from the gut, on what's going on in her gut. So the naturopath ran all these different tests. She said, you have a lot of bad bacteria going on. Why don't you go get a colonic? So we did a series of colonics. We did 3 colonics. And it was about 6 months later, we got a message from her that she was pregnant.
You're joking.
No, we see that often.
That is unbelievable. It's literally your poop. Your poop could be destroying you from the inside out, sabotaging you.
Yes, it can. I'm a big believer that everything starts from the inside out. So everyone's always concerned about how they look and this and that. And I'm like, listen, it all starts from the inside out, right?
Yeah.
It truly does.
Do you think that IBS is often misdiagnosed?
I do.
What's going on with IBS?
IBS, I mean, when you talk about IBS can be constipation or it can be someone that's got really runny, watery stools. Okay. So both of them to me are constipation. It doesn't matter. So if someone has the runs, what I do find is that they're so jammed up and full of poop that the poop is just literally just kind of squirting out of them. After a couple sessions, they're back to having regular bowel movements. It's mind blowing.
What is your body telling you if you're constantly bloated?
I mean, it can tell you a lot of different things. I mean, it could be bad bacteria, it could be SIBO, it could be H. pylori. These are all really bad bacteria that are common and you can get tested for as well. So if you're dealing with a lot of bloat, it could also mean that you're someone that eats super fast, you're not chewing your food and you're inhaling it. And then 2 to 3 minutes after that meal, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm 3 months pregnant. I'm completely bloated. And if you are chewing gum, if you're drinking out of a straw, that could also cause bloating as well.
Why should people with severe acne be getting colonics?
Because everything stems from the gut. What I find typically is that they're constipated or they're not having full bowel movements or they're on medication or they're on birth control. And so now this bad bacteria is taking over the good bacteria. And then what's happening is that their body has to purge somewhere. So it's purging from their face. So it's like these toxins are like, please get out of me. And their face is just purging with acne.
How quickly have people seen their skin clear up after a colonic?
I would say after 3 to 6 sessions, we're seeing a significant difference.
Do you go multiple days in a row? Is it you should never go more than once a week?
It really depends on the person and what they're trying to achieve. But if they're dealing with acne, I would say the closer you can get your colonics in, the better off you're going to be. For example, maybe try one on a Monday, maybe Wednesday, or on a Saturday or Sunday, because everything's nice and wet, right? Your colon's nice and wet. It's highly filtered. And then they come back a couple days later, it's highly filtered. So we're really starting to make some movement. And if you get a colonic and wait 3 weeks, everything's hardened again. So the closer we can get them, the better the results are going to be.
Why are colonics the secret piece in the puzzle when it comes to mental health?
I would say that there's a lot going on in the gut when it comes to mental health, when it comes to anxiety, when it comes to depression. I find a lot of medications are affecting the gut. And I think with that, it's going to affect your mental health on how you're feeling. If you're going to feel good, sad. I mean, if you're not pooping, you're not going to feel great, right?
What does the average gut look like on the inside, like average American? And then what would it be like after a colonic?
I think people are just highly toxic. I think a lot of Americans are just highly toxic. I think a lot of us are full of parasites. I think we have a lot of work to do. I mean, our liver is what is like the mothership, right? And she's filtering out all the toxins. Every 4 minutes, she's filtering out all of these toxins. And back in the day, 30, 40 years ago, we would only have to filter maybe 1,000 to 2,000 toxins. Each day, we're filtering over 80,000 toxins in our liver, right? And the liver is filtering them out. It's creating bile, and that bile is being transported, and that's how we eliminate all those toxins. So I just think that people are on such an overload of toxins these days that they're just unhealthy.
Can you do a colonic when you're pregnant?
I would say no.
Okay, so you wait for that. What about breastfeeding?
I would say wait a couple months after you get done breastfeeding to do a colonic.
What is the main difference between a colonic and a parasite cleanse? Could you do both together? Do you need to wait till a parasite cleanse is over to then do a colonic?
That's a really good question. And I don't think a lot of people talk about this enough. We have a lot of people that will come to us and say, oh my gosh, I'm so constipated, but I really want to do this parasite cleanse. And I think people don't understand what opening up your detox pathways mean. And you want to open up your detox pathways before you do any cleanse. Like, don't even waste your money. Don't even waste your money on a cleanse. Like, why even bother? Because remember, the detox pathways to open them are your colon, your skin, your lungs, your liver. Like, all of this needs to be dumping and draining, because where else are the toxins going to go? So if you do a parasite cleanse, you're going to have a die-off, you're going to have this ammonia and gas, you're going to be super bloated, and you're not pooping, so this isn't good, right? So now your body's herxing and reabsorbing everything. All of those toxins, all of those carcasses, all of the die-off is just like sitting there. So I always say, just let's get this constipation under control before you do any cleanse, right? Because you have to be evacuating and eliminating it out. If not, you're just going to reabsorb it.
If your bowel movements or gas is really foul smelling, what is that telling you?
It could be a lot of things. Most likely that you're constipated. I would say if your gas smells, if you're dealing with gas or stinky gas, something's going on in your gut. Something's going on in your gut. It's like you need to get it out. Make sure you're pooping daily. Go see your naturopathic doctor. Start running some tests. That's not normal. You should not have foul smelling gas. You should not.
Are probiotics overhyped, or are they actually necessary?
I think they're absolutely necessary.
Is it important to be taking probiotics after you do a colonic?
Absolutely. I would say take them before and after.
Oh, I didn't do that.
That's okay.
Okay, so I need to take some of those today.
Yeah, I would.
Can becoming an expert pooper make you look younger?
Absolutely. It's the fountain of youth. I have very few toxins in me.
Poop is the fountain of youth.
It really is.
Do you think that this stigma around talking about poop and that poop should be private is actually really hurting our health?
Yes, 100%. I think people need to get over it. I think they need to get comfortable with talking about bathroom habits. I think we need to start talking about poop, because people are keeping it this little secret, or they're so desperate to find answers, and they really don't have anyone to talk to. I mean, they don't. I hear it all the time. I don't want to talk to my husband about it. I don't want to talk to my fiance about it. They're scared to talk to people about it. They're almost scared to talk to their doctors about it, which blows my mind. It's like their little dirty secret. I'm like, no, we've got to talk about it.
Were you doing this before you got married, or did you get married and then start doing this?
Oh, I've been doing this for ages.
When you met your husband, how did you bring up the poop conversation? Because it's funny, I have married friends who are like, oh, we're very open. Like, hey, I have to go to the bathroom, whatever. Like, they are very open about talking about it in their marriage. And then I have some that are like, we've never discussed it. It's a huge secret. It's like, he doesn't know when I go. I don't know when he goes. And it is the elephant in the room.
We talk about it all the time. Why wouldn't you not?
I know, but how did you do that when you were in the dating stage?
I told him exactly what I was doing. I told him I was a colon hydrotherapist and walked him through it. And he was just like, whoa. It's always a great dinner topic, right? Like, what do you do for a living?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
He's like on a first date, like how you get into that.
Yeah.
And then
he was really fascinated by it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he's so cool. Like we just naturally got into the conversation, and he thought it was mind blowing and fascinating, and he had never heard it before. And he was just like, okay, maybe I should try it.
So how soon after you guys met and started dating did he go and get his first colonic?
Within a month.
Within a month?
Yep.
And then were you like investigating, or was he like, okay, I'll do this, but you cannot look?
Yes. He was like, get out.
That's what I kind of figured.
Because he knew it was great for overall health and wellness, right? I mean, there's so many different benefits to it. So, he does colonics.
So I just got my blood drawn at home. Yeah, at home. No lab, no weird waiting room with old magazines and fluorescent lighting. Just me, my couch, and a licensed medical professional who showed up on time and got it done in like 5 minutes. It's been a few months since my last check-in, so I wanted to see how I'm doing. Have I made improvements, or am I still running on stress and iced coffee? Honestly, pray for me. But here's the thing, I wouldn't be doing this at all if it weren't so easy with Jevity. They're making healthcare accessible, modern, and non-intimidating. You choose the test panel that fits your goals: hormones, nutrition, inflammation, metabolism, all of it if you want. And Jevity will send a phlebotomist right to your door. You get real lab results with insights that you can go over with an entire health team that is functional medicine minded. Whether you're tracking progress, troubleshooting symptoms, or just taking better care of yourself, this is how you do it without the hassle. Go to gojevity.com, use code ALEX for 20% off. That's gojevity.com, code ALEX. Take control of your health without leaving your house. So I'm at a spa in Ukraine. Yes, during the war. So many discounts. It's run by this oligarch who owns half the potassium in Eastern Europe. We're drinking Docky milk and we're watching Wagner mercenaries cry during Reiki. And he looks at me, dead serious, and he says, "You Americans are dying from the inside out. It's the seed oils." And I'm like, is this what Putin meant by special operation? Folks, here's the truth. Everything you eat is killing you, slowly. And it's not even fun anymore. You used to die from, foie gras and heroin. Now it's canola oil and gluten-free crackers. We deserve better. That's why I'm eating masa chips, made with organic corn, sea salt, and grass-fed beef tallow. Tallow, like your great-grandma used before the CIA convinced her that Crisco was progress. Masa doesn't just taste amazing, it actually makes you feel human again. Crunchy, satisfying, doesn't break and guac like some limp-wristed soy chip. You won't binge, you won't bloat. You'll sit back and you'll go, wow, I might survive the food industrial complex another day. Go to masachips.com and use code RealAlexClark for 25% off your first order. That's masachips.com with code RealAlexClark for 25% off your first order. Hurry before Bill Gates fortifies the corn. Why should we all be putting coffee up our butts?
There's two different types of coffee, first of all. So you've got the coffee that you drink that's going to stimulate your nervous system. And then you have coffee that you use for detoxing your liver, and it's going to stimulate your liver. So when I was going through my mold exposure and a lot of my different health crises that I've had, coffee enemas were my go-to. I've been doing them for over 30 years. And it's really important when you do a coffee enema, you want to make sure that you have organic coffee, that it's actually coffee enema, right? You want to make sure that it's third-party tested and that it's tested for mold. That was really important. So when we created our Trust Your Gut line, obviously the mold thing was super important. Like, let's do small batches, let's test it for mold, and let's make sure it's air roasted. So coffee enema is completely different than regular coffee. And when you're putting coffee into your rectum, what it's doing is it's going to go through your rectum, and it's going to go through the hepatic portal valve into your liver. Now, remember, your liver is filtering every 4 minutes. So it's dumping and filtering every 4 minutes. The coffee is going to stimulate the bile ducts. The bile ducts are going to open up and then basically start dumping this bile and transporting the toxins into your digestive system and then out into your rectum, and you're going to eventually poop it out. Now, the nice thing about the coffee enemas is they're so good for your liver because it's going to increase your glutathione, the master antioxidant, by 700%. So that's huge.
So this is like the ultimate liver detox.
This is the ultimate liver detox. It's hard for someone, I think, to get their head to kind of comprehend this, but it's like it couldn't be any more natural and organic when it comes to a liver cleanse, right?
Right.
It's coffee.
How is a coffee enema different than a colonic?
Oh, it's totally different. The coffee enema is really for your liver. So we are trying to detox the liver with coffee because the caffeine is going to stimulate it. It's going to increase your glutathione by 500 to 700%. Your liver is going to purge. So coffee enemas are primarily for detoxing the liver.
Why can't you do that at like a hydrotherapy place?
You can.
Oh, you
yeah.
can.
Some people offer it. Yeah.
Okay.
We don't offer it, but some people will offer it. We actually have our own coffee enema kit that we have created. So we'll send the client home with it, with instructions, and we will educate them on how to do a coffee enema at home.
Okay. I want you to educate us on how to do it at home. So like, what are we gathering? What are we doing?
So that we have two different types of coffee enema kits that you can get. We have a silicone bag that's non-BPA. We also have a stainless steel bucket. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your coffee enema, right? It's got to be the coffee enema, the correct coffee, and you're going to boil it until it's warm. Then you're going to take your coffee and you're going to strain it into a coffee plunger because you don't want the little grains of the coffee in it. Then you're going to take the coffee, make sure it's room temperature. You're going to pour it into your coffee. You're going to pour it into your enema bag. After you pour it into your enema bag, you are set up for success. Now you're going to go find a private location and make sure. For me, I just say, Steve, I need about an hour to myself. I'll go into our bedroom, go into the bathroom. I have a towel laid down. We have a walk-in bathroom shower. So I have a towel laid down. I have a little pillow. I've got my book or I've got my phone, and I'll hang up my coffee enema bag. And then on the coffee enema bag, you have a little lever that's going to open and close that. You also have a little teeny rectal tip. It's super teeny. And you'll use non-petroleum like coconut oil or lubricant and lube it up, and you're gonna have to insert that into your rectum. There's only one way in, it goes right in. And then you'll lay down, and then that's when you'll control the flow of the coffee going into your rectum. There's like a little lever that will open and close it. Now, the objective really is to hold the coffee as long as you can, because the longer you can hold it, preferably about 15 minutes, what is it going to do? It's cleaning out your liver, right?
Oh, wow.
It's almost like dialysis, best way to explain it. Every 4 minutes, right, where your liver's purging and dumping. So if we can do it for 15 minutes, wow. I mean, you're really helping out and supporting your liver, which is really important. Because as we know, the liver's like the mothership, right? She's always on. She's got 400 jobs to do a day. She's always filtering out toxins. Why wouldn't we support our liver by doing coffee enemas?
Okay, and then, I mean, I'm just asking for all the granular details. You have a bucket or something that you're then going in, or you get up and go to the toilet, or what?
You'll actually get up after that and then go to the toilet.
Okay.
And then you'll poop it out.
And then you go back and you do this another 15 minutes and then another 15 minutes.
Nope, usually it's just, you usually just do one bag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll just do one bag.
So wait, what's the hour process?
I just, the cleanup time, relaxing, taking a shower afterwards.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so usually it's about 15 minutes. A lot of people, I always say, start off maybe with 5 minutes or 7 minutes. You don't have to do 15. It'll take you some time to get up to that 15 minutes to hold that coffee enema. It's not going to happen right away. So you can also start off with doing a distilled water enema. So if you want to practice before you do coffee, and for constipation, to answer your question, you can start off with doing a distilled water enema. And I travel with my enema kit everywhere. That's the first thing that we do when we land. We'll go grab our food, our water, our distilled water, because if I don't have access to colon hydrotherapy and if I get constipated, I'm going to do a water enema.
How often can you do coffee enemas?
I mean, I've been doing them 3-4 times a week because I'm detoxing right now. I've got to take care of my liver. My liver enzymes became really high when I was exposed to mold because my liver was trying to detoxify and it was pushing out all this black mold. So my liver enzymes were like scary high. So I had to drop them down as fast as I possibly could. So I went right to coffee enemas.
So would a coffee enema be really good if you've been struggling with like regular cold and flu or anything?
Sure. I would say if you're going to do coffee enemas, one of the biggest tips would be to make sure that you are hydrating with electrolytes and with minerals afterwards.
Is there a risk of becoming dependent on enemas to poop?
No, not at all.
What do you think about this trend of putting castor oil in your belly button to poop?
I think castor oil is great. I mean, we have a castor oil pack. I think there's a lot of trends going on right now. I think we have the belly button one. I think we have the patches that are out there. And I would say be careful with the patches because they're typically coming in from overseas from what I'm seeing, and they're synthetic, they're plastic. So a lot of our clients are calling saying, hey, I don't know what to do. I tried this castor oil patch and now I've got this itch or this rash and I can't get rid of it. So I would say be careful if you're doing the castor oil patches, the ones that stick on you that are going viral right now. But putting it in your belly button, I mean, why not? I mean, I don't do that. I just do a straight up old school castor oil pack.
What are the benefits of doing castor oil packs and how do you do them?
So with the castor oil packs, coffee enemas, and colonics, they've been around for centuries. They've been around since like 500 BC. So that's why I love that these are natural therapies that are kind of making a comeback, right? Like, let's modernize them. When it comes to a castor oil pack and how you do it, and what's so great about it is that it can detoxify your liver. It can help you poop, basically, because it'll stimulate your bowels to go to the bathroom. Castor oil in general is so beautiful because it's so beneficial because of its fatty acid. It has rinoxalic acid in it, and it's the only oil that has that. And it's a very fatty acid. Think about it like a really rich omega-9 is what it is. So when you put the castor oil on your right-hand side on your liver and put your pack on and you put a heating pad on, what it's doing is that castor oil is going to stimulate in the lymphatic tissues, and it's going to create like this wave-like motion and really penetrate into the skin and really start to stimulate, whether it's your bowels, if you're having issues with constipation, or if you're wanting to detoxify your liver, same thing. It'll start stimulating that bile to get that bile flowing. Your liver can get very congested and fatty. So in order to stimulate that bile and to get that bile moving, castor oil packs are great, as well as coffee enemas.
What can you tell us about the relationship between gut health and your libido?
If you're dealing with chronic constipation, your libido is not going to be as active as it probably should be because you're probably full of poop and you're completely constipated and you're uncomfortable. And many people will say, many of our clients will say this, like, when it comes to intimacy and if I'm constipated, like I want nothing to do with it. It's really hard to get intimate with my partner because I'm dealing with so much constipation and I'm uncomfortable and it hurts. It's like I have this 3-month, it looks like I'm pregnant and it's painful. And I agree.
One of my friends got Botox at a house party, not even a real house. I mean, it was like an Airbnb in West Hollywood with folding chairs and a guy named Nolan doing injections out of a tackle box. 2 days later, she looked like a wax statue of herself. Her cheeks were fighting gravity. Her forehead was hovering. And that's when I said, you need Primally Pure's plumping serum. It's not a mystery syringe from Craigslist. It's made with ingredients like pomegranate seed oil, prickly pear, bakuchiol, the natural version of retinol, and something called astaxanthin, which sounds like a Marvel villain, but it's actually one of the strongest antioxidants on earth. It lifts, firms, smooths, and gives your face that I drink water and pay my taxes on time look without injecting synthetic goo into your skull. The texture is luxurious, the ingredients are clean, and the results are real. No chemicals, no plastic face, real clean beauty. If you're thinking about switching to cleaner, non-toxic skincare, check out the thousands of 5-star reviews on PrimallyPure.com. Once you're ready to glow up, use code AlexClark at checkout for 15% off. That's PrimallyPure.com, code AlexClark. Look lifted, look radiant, keep injections out of group housing. If you've never been to a summer wedding in Arizona, let me explain it to you. It's basically just hell with resorts. It's 112 degrees and everyone smells like a dying horse. Picture yourself sitting there next to this guy who looks like he's trying to mate with a cactus. And he goes, "You smell incredible. What perfume is that?" And you say, "No, sweetie, perfume turns you gay. It's Zebra." Zebra makes a completely non-toxic clean deodorant that actually works and doesn't destroy your endocrine system with artificial fragrance. It goes on clear, no aluminum, no parabens, no lavender, sexy baby powder, tulip forest, chemical warfare smell. And they even have a baking soda-free version for the dainty little lovebirds among us who start crying if a product has texture. Wah. Go to yayzebra.com, use code ALEX for 10% off, unless you want to smell like a farting old man at your next desert wedding. That's yayzebra.com with code ALEX for 10% off my favorite non-toxic deodorant. Okay, let's do frequently asked questions about colonics. Does it hurt when the water is going in?
A colonic should never hurt.
Yeah, it didn't hurt at all. It just, how I described it was like 45 minutes of diarrhea, but I would say like 95% of it is just like you feel water coming in and then it's like the experience of having diarrhea, but there's no pain or uncomfortable. And then there was like 5% that it was like I had the like crampy, shaky feeling like when you are sick. Yeah. But it was like, it was such a tiny, only a few of them. Yeah. And I mean, what's going on there when those few times you feel that way?
So think about like this, like you have waves of water coming in and out. So throughout your colon hydrotherapy session, you're filling up with water and then you're pushing it out and releasing it. You're filling up with water and pushing it out. Every once in a while, you'll have somewhat of a gas cramp. And that's usually a sign that it's hitting a really compacted, jammed up area. And you might go, ooh, that kind of hurts a little bit. But like you said, it'll go away really quick.
Oh, yeah.
So it should never hurt. It should never pinch. Every once in a while, you could have a little bit of discomfort because it's hitting blockage is what it would be.
How much waste can actually come out during one session?
I mean, I've seen as much as 10 pounds come out during a session.
That's literally a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Fat baby.
Yeah, like I've seen that often. Wow. Yeah, 10 pounds people will unload in one session. It'll blow your mind.
Can a colonic remove parasites or candida?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's going to remove toxins, gas, candida, parasites. When I was exposed to mold and that parasitic infection, I mean, I would see tapeworms coming out of me like this long.
So I don't think I saw any tapeworms or anything like that, but could that be because they're all locked up in there or I may not have any?
I mean, it kind of depends. I mean, parasites can hide in the lining, the mucosal lining of your colon. So they can bury in there. A lot of people don't even know they have parasites. You know, they're like this host, you know, I mean, they're hosting like this parasitic party, but they don't even know they have parasites. And you won't really know until you either get tested or you start doing a parasite cleanse. Because when you do a parasite cleanse, you will see parasites coming out.
How many sessions until you notice a difference?
I would say it depends. If you're the person who poops like, you know, one to 3 times a day, every day, like a lot of our athletes will come in and they just want that extra pep in their step and they just want to be absorbing at more of an optimal level, right? And what happens is over time, you know, they're eating all these high protein diets and they're just like, they just really want to get rid of the waste and they want to create some more space. Once we start creating more space within your gut, you can start absorbing at a higher level. You'll start to absorb nutrients a lot better.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. So once you start to unload stuff, create space, you're going to start absorbing at such a higher level. So that's why like athletes and stuff like that want to come to us because they want that extra pep in their step and they want to be feeling fabulous before that match or tournament or whatever it may be.
Will you be running to the bathroom all night after a session?
No, absolutely not. No.
Are colonics safe for everybody, or are there certain types of people who should avoid them?
There's definitely contraindications for people that shouldn't be doing colon hydrotherapy. There's a list. For example, like if you're pregnant, you shouldn't be doing it. Or if you've had abdominal surgery within the last 3 months, you're probably not a good candidate. So not everyone's a great candidate for colon hydrotherapy.
Are there any risks with getting a colonic?
No, I would say this. Make sure that whoever you get a colonic from, make sure that they're using an FDA cleared class 2 medical device, and make sure that they're certified in colon hydrotherapy.
Should people with hemorrhoids avoid colonics?
Yes, absolutely.
Does somebody have to insert the colonic tube for you, or do you do it yourself?
We will educate. We are all about education when it comes to colon hydrotherapy. As you know, I educated you through the process. I walked you through on how to put the rectal nozzle in. So the client will insert the rectal nozzle themselves. We will not do any insertion.
Is that typical for most places or just you?
That's typical for most places.
Okay.
Now, there's 2 types of colonics out there.
Oh.
So there's an open system and a closed system. We have the open system.
Wait, what's this?
So the closed system, basically, it's a kind of a little box on the wall, and you're on a massage table, fetal position, and the therapist is actually holding this tube and putting it into your rectum for you.
No way.
And then she'll sit there and work on your stomach for about 45 minutes. And that's more of an old school form of colon hydrotherapy. And it's great. It's just as effective.
I just could not get past the embarrassment of that's like you're just pooping in front of somebody.
So I'm colon shy, so I love the open system. That's why we have a couple open systems. I love that privacy. You're going to have the therapist coming in, checking on you. But for someone to be standing there and then while I'm doing it, I had some trouble with that. Some people don't.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's great for some people.
Do colonic sessions ever smell as bad as you might think?
No. The equipment that we use has a built-in fan, so there shouldn't be any smell in the room. So you shouldn't have to worry about that.
Is it normal to feel really emotional or really tired after a colonic?
Absolutely. Because you're releasing so much mentally, physically, within that small period of time, within about the 45-minute session, you're releasing so many toxins. You could kind of be like, woof, I'm a little tired because you just unloaded so many toxins out of your body.
I cried after.
Did you really?
Yes. And I wasn't expecting that. So that happened to me.
It will blow your mind on how much we're really caring, right? Emotionally and physically. And when you have a colonic, you're literally letting it go, like everything.
Do people get to see what comes out of them?
Yes. There is a viewing tube, so while you're in session, you can see exactly what's coming out of you the whole entire time, which is the best part.
This is the best part.
It's the best part.
That was like my number one question. I said, please make sure I can see.
Yes.
What do you say to people who think colonics are totally unnecessary or just way too extreme?
I would say what I think is really extreme is somebody not going to the bathroom every day. What I say is extreme is somebody dealing with constipation and not pooping, right? That's what I think is extreme. When they say it's unnecessary, I think to each his own, right? I'm all about detoxing. We live in this 21st century where we have so many toxins. So if someone thinks this is unnecessary, great. I don't think it is. I'm all about filtering out our system, getting these toxins out. Because if we have this buildup of toxins, we start to create an acidic environment. And with that comes what? Disease or different autoimmunes.
What are the do's and don'ts for before and after getting a colonic? Like, how are you prepping your body before? What are the rules? And then right after?
Prior to your colon hydrotherapy session, you don't want to eat 2 hours prior to your session, but you can continue to drink water or juice. I would say a couple days prior to your colon hydrotherapy session, really increase your water intake and your electrolyte and minerals. So the more hydrated you are, the more poop we're going to see in a session. After your session, I would say eat something very warm, like bone broth or soup, anything kind of cooked, grilled, a sweet potato, more on the warm side versus the cold side, or versus vegetables I find will make me gassy after my colon hydrotherapy sessions.
Why do you recommend getting a lymphatic drainage massage before a colonic?
The lymphatic drainage is going to really help with your colon hydrotherapy sessions in so many ways, because as we're moving and draining and dumping stuff throughout the lymphatic massage session, it's going to help with the peristalsis, that wave-like motion where it's like, come on, colon, wake up, like let's go poop. So you're going to be super relaxed after your lymphatic drainage session, and we're going to create so much movement with your lymphatic system. It's going to be completely prepped and ready to drain in that colon hydrotherapy session.
So you had me doing this like crazy wellness circuit yesterday. Yes. I did 3 different things.
You did.
So we did the lymphatic massage. Then you had me sit in this egg, but it wasn't a hyperbaric chamber because that's what everybody thinks. What was the second thing that you had me do before a colonic?
So the second thing is we also have the ozone sauna, which is the ozone sauna is actually the HOCAT. So the HOCAT stands for hyperthermic ozone carbonic acid transdermal technology. Try saying that a couple times. It's the ultimate biohacking system out there, in my opinion. It really is. So you will sit in, it's kind of like a pod. It's a very comfortable, roomy pod. Your head will be out of the pod. We'll have pure oxygen on you. And ozone is super powerful. It's unbelievable. But what it's doing is the first 3 minutes are going to be carbonic acid. And then the next 25 minutes are going to be ozone being pumped in there. So it's kind of like, it's not a steam or sauna session, but it does feel like it, right? Because you're in there, you're naked, your body's sweating, and we're pumping pure ozone O3 into the system. But we're stacking it. There's different modalities. So we've got far infrared going on at the same time. We have the FSM, which is a frequency specific microcurrent going on, photon light therapy. So all of these things are going like simultaneously, like just clicking on when you're in this 30-minute session. So ozone is O3. It's super powerful. It'll start to inactivate anything viral, heavy metals, candida, fungus, parasites. A lot of our athletes love it because what it's doing, it's super oxygenating the body. So if you have like a tear or a rip, it's going to heal things a lot faster. Ozone is very powerful. So it'll start to heal that ripped shoulder or ankle, or if you're dealing with, cancer, Lyme, mold. It helped me tremendously detox from mold because my body's just sweating it out, basically. And if you look at the end of your session, look at the towel, usually you'll see all these black and gray specks, which are heavy metals being leached out of your body.
I know. And I forgot to look at my towel, Marina.
You're going to have to come back.
I know. I have to come back because
Yes.
I do. Because it sounds like, I've got some dehydration issues. So you said I need to really come for like 3 times total. So does that mean I need to come in soon? Like I shouldn't wait?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of results we get.
Okay.
We need to get you to start sweating so you can start sweating out these toxins.
I know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've just never been a sweater, really. How do you know if a colonic place is good or bad?
I think that you really have to go out there and search and find the place that you're gravitating towards. They're not all the same, is what I have found. Hence the reason why I created Scottsdale Hydrotherapy. I wanted it to be really clean, clinical, bougie. I wanted to bring the best equipment in, have everyone trained. So
it was a nice experience.
So like I said, just make sure you know who's giving you the colon hydrotherapy session, make sure that they're certified, and make sure that the equipment's FDA approved.
How much does a colonic cost on average?
It depends. I mean, it ranges anywhere from 130 to 150. Every state is different as well, you'll find.
And then for your wellness circuit package, the 3 different things, how much total is that if somebody wants to come in Scottsdale?
So the detox circuit's about $455, but we run specials for usually the first-time clients that do come in.
So you guys sell this gorgeous aesthetic kit for coffee enemas. What is that called? And then can anybody get that online if they don't live local?
Absolutely. It's called trustyourgut.shop. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can purchase a USDA organic coffee enema kit, castor oil pack. We also have all of our herbal teas that are USDA organic certified as well as our non-toxic candles.
And the candles are insane. You gave me 2 because I was like so obsessed. I said I have to have more of these scents. They were incredible. So yeah, I got the whole kit and caboodle, and I'm going to be trying it out so we can do coffee enemas together. And if you want to try her castor oil pack or coffee enema kit, which again, they're both beautiful, like well made. You've got the option of the silicone or the stainless steel bucket or whatever, right?
Yep.
Those are the options. And then the website is called what?
Trustyourgut.shop.
Okay, trustyourgut.shop. You can use code ALEX10 for a discount. What is your elevator pitch for somebody who is terrified to get a colonic but very curious?
I think it really depends. I mean, most of the time the elevator pitch would be for someone who's dealing with constipation is, do you want to continue to keep feeling like crap, right? Obviously, you're not pooping. Do you want to continue to keep feeling this way? If not, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to really have to step up and get brave and try something different. And I think a lot of the hype is the rectal nozzle. People are so scared to put something up their butt. I really find that's what's holding people back from doing colonics. But like I've said, the rectal nozzle is maybe the size of a number 2 pencil. You're inserting it maybe an inch and a half into your rectum, and there's only one way in. So it's super easy. Once you get past that, it is the most relaxing therapy out there. Like our clients are like, this, I look forward to this appointment every single month. It's so relaxing. And it really is, because it's their time to like let that shit go. They're relaxed, they're in their somatic breathing and letting the waste go.
If you could offer one remedy to heal a sick culture physically, emotionally, or spiritually, what would it be?
It would be colonic. Yeah. And if you don't have access to a colonic, I would say a coffee enema, or you could always do a distilled water enema, because there's a lot of people that don't have access to colon hydrotherapy. I lived in a small town in Valentine, Nebraska. I didn't poop for 12 days. I had to drive 3.5 hours and then 3.5 hours back because I was so desperate. But if someone would explain to me about a coffee enema or castor oil pack, I could have done this very inexpensively within my own home.
Is a coffee enema something that you can do on a child if they're constipated, or no, you should just only adults?
Only adults.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they could try doing a water enema, but I would consult obviously their practitioner and, talk to them about it.
If somebody wants to come to Scottsdale Hydrotherapy, they live local or they're going to be in town and they want to make an appointment, is it hard to get an appointment?
We typically book out. So I would say definitely be thinking ahead and get on the books.
Where can people find you on social media to learn more about gut health and pooping?
They can find us at scottsdalehydrotherapy.com, and they can also find us on Instagram at Scottsdale Hydrotherapy.
Marina, thank you for coming on Culture Apothecary.
Thank you so much.
If you are ready to stop feeling like crap, whether you're into colonics, castor oil packs, or you're curious about coffee enemas at home, Marina's got you covered. For my listeners only, use code ALEX10 for 10% off at both trustyourgut.shop and scottsdalehydrotherapy.com for expert hydrotherapy services and products in the heart of Scottsdale that I use myself. You can also subscribe to the Trust Your Gut newsletter to stay in the loop about poop. Details in the description. And don't forget to join the conversation on Facebook. They have a Trust Your Gut community where you can make your number 2 problem your number 1 priority. So if you got poop issues, then you need to join the Trust Your Gut community. I know you're already in the Cuteservatives Facebook group, which is my Facebook group. New episodes come out every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, anywhere you get your podcasts, and Real Alex Clark on YouTube. I'm Alex Clark, and this is Culture Apothecary.